Welcome to Sun City News. I'm your host, Norma Taylor, and here are some of the stories we're working on for this week. Our SCTV crew learned about the latest scams. We hear about the Shalom Club's upcoming movie. And later in the program, Chris Chase graduates from the police academy. Those stories and more coming up. Sun City News starts now.
This is Sun City News, with our news team bringing you stories from Sun City and the Low Country, taking the lead with entertainment news. And on deck is our sports report. Sun City News, from people you know, about people you know. This week's SCTV News starts now.
It seems like there's a new scam going on every week. We're fortunate to receive the latest updates from the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office.
We've heard the stories, we've heard the statistics. Yes, scams are a prolific threat to our personal security, and seniors, we're the target. Help is here. Thanks to Sun City, they have brought in Lieutenant Eric Calendine from the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, who is going to update us on local scam activity and update us on how to protect ourselves. Welcome, Lieutenant Calendine. We are going to be hearing a lot in this whole scams topic. I think sometimes when we look at it, it's the idea that it's going to be the other guy. I'm not going to get scammed. What are the actual chances of any of us getting scammed?
It's a daily. I mean, you talk about emails coming in, text messages, phone calls. The bad guy is constantly trying to get everyone involved, be a victim of a scam. So you can't just think it's going to happen to someone else. It's going to happen to you. There is going to be a point where someone's going to call, you're going to get that email, that text, and you're just kind of like, I'm not sure if this is real. What do I do? And at that moment, you need to just take a breath, take a step back, call a friend, call the sheriff's office, really think about it before you do proceed from that, that email, clicking on it because your account's been compromised, or verify now, or that text message that comes in says you didn't pay your bill. So you just need to be very cautious and protective of yourself.
Now, you've mentioned a lot of the online activity. Is there online behaviors that really make us more vulnerable to scammers?
Sure. I mean, online behavior going into social media. So anything you do on that social media imprint, somebody is going to be watching you and going to try to maybe reach out to you. It may be a friend request of somebody who you think you know, but it's an imposter. It may have a picture that your friend from high school, that's not them. They're just using that person's account. So you need to be very careful in the social media realm of what you're getting involved with, who you're talking to. Just be really cautious.
Now, is it naive to think that we could actually have a first step to protect ourselves?
Well, the first step is just knowing that the bad guy is out there trying to get, facilitate that scam, whatever it might be. They're out there, they're trying every day to try to knock on your door to see if you'll open the door.
Okay, and any red flags that you can highlight for us?
Certainly just the emails. I mean, just don't trust any email that comes in. Don't trust that text message, that phone call. It may say it's from the sheriff's office. It might actually read it as the sheriff's office, but you got to question everything these days. You got to be very protective of yourself and your loved ones. Like I said before, there's always somebody out there trying to knock on the door to see if you open it up.
Now, I know you'll be telling us a lot in your presentation, but let's finish up with regretfully the question, what do we do if it happens to us?
You call the sheriff's office. Obviously, if it's your bank accounts, any kind of thing you need to report that crime, call the sheriff's office, call your bank. You need to check your balances, everything you need to do to secure your accounts and secure your identity.
Thank you for your time and for your information.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Georgia Lash interviewed Mitch Sax, president of the Shalom Club, about a big event coming up in June. Let's listen.
Welcome, Mitch. You have activated your Shalom Club with so many diverse events. Now you're bringing in another big event in June. So give us the what, the where, and the when.
Well, good morning. Yes, the event we have in June is going to be Thursday, June 5th, 7 p.m. at Magnolia Hall. And it's going to be Anne and Emmett. A lot of people know of Anne Frank, the Jewish girl that wrote the Anne Frank diary, but a lot of people don't know the Emmett Till story.
Right.
And it's a big and an important story. So I thought that it would be important to have this here. The show is going to be open to all Sun City residents, free, first come, first serve in the seating. It's all open seating. So we're looking forward to that.
Now, this Anne and Emmett started and originated as a play in 2007 from a playwright and author, Janet Cohen. Give us a summary of the storyline. What are we going to see?
Well, the storyline, it's done in memory. The whole conversation is done in memory. She came up with this idea years and years ago because she could relate to the fact that she was a 13-year-old girl, like Anne Frank, like Emmett, living in Indianapolis in poverty. And so she came up with this whole thing. So they had two different storylines. And both victims were racial intolerance. Anne was a Jewish who's had the Holocaust and everything else. And then Emmett Till was a young black boy from Chicago that went to Mississippi, whistled at a white girl, and then the next thing you know, he was hung, shot, and thrown into the river.
An intriguing idea that two victims could come together in time, in memory, and share their stories. Now, this, as our play originated, how did we end up, and what was involved in getting the film here?
It goes back to, I saw the play here in Savannah. It was here twice. It was here last year and then it came back. So after I saw the last one and I was invited down, I contacted the director here and the cast and said, would you do it here in Sun City? They were all excited. They needed to have so much rehearsal time. They needed to have all these different things which could not fit into getting the schedules for the auditorium. So then I went the next route and got the video.
What is the Shalom Club aiming for viewers to learn from Anne and Emmett?
I think we were looking to have people understand more about the anti-Semitism, the prejudice, and what is still going on in today's society.
I think this is a beautiful prelude to Juneteenth that we celebrate in this next coming month. Thank you for bringing this to Sun City, and I hope we pack the house.
I'm sure we will. Thank you very much.
June 5th, everyone.
June 5th, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. It's open seating and free to all Sun City residents.
Still more to come. We have details on GFWC's Strikeout Cancer event. We continue with our update of the Okatie Golf Course renovation. And Ann Prianti was at the recent Money Talks meeting. We'll return after this brief break.
Sun City TV invites you to join our crew. Our growing technology presence requires enthusiastic, creative volunteers. No previous TV experience needed. Email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com.
Strikeout Cancer. Want to know what that's about? Well, JoJo Hines speaks with the coordinator of the event. Let's listen in.
I would like to welcome Sharon Quinter, who is the chair of the GFWC Women's League of the Low Countries Health and Wellness Community Service Program. Welcome, Sharon.
Thanks, JoJo.
Well, what is this new event the GFC is sponsoring? Strikeout Cancer?
Yeah, it's a fun evening with your friends and for a good cause. We decided that we wanted to have some fun, but yet raise money for cancer. We liked the idea of Strikeout Cancer, and so we made it a bowling party.
Excellent. Now, who will benefit for this?
The proceeds will go to cancer patients of the Low Country, some who don't have any health insurance at all, to help cover the cost of these medical treatment for cancer. Some of these people will be out of work and they don't have money to live on. So the social workers throughout Beaufort County will distribute gift cards to those who need the money in order to help them through their treatment and survive this cancer.
Now, this is the same organization that does the Dragon Boat event for cancer, yes?
Yeah, it is.
Now, you decided to direct your club from the Pink Bags of Hope to this event, But please tell us about the Pink Bags of Hope. You've done that for so many years.
We have. We have done Pink Bags of Hope for about 10 years. What that was is we had friends and members who would fill pink bags with items that were helpful for breast cancer patients. And then they were distributed by Dr. Ringer's office. We decided to extend our reach just from breast cancer into all kinds of cancer.
Exactly. Now, Sharon, most importantly, give us the details about Strikeout Cancer.
This will be held at Station 300 from 5 to 7 p.m. on June 3rd. For $25, which is a reasonable price, you get 2 hours of bowlings with your friends, plus shoes if you need them. Plus we have a 50-50 raffle and a few beautiful baskets filled with goodies to raffle off. You can contact me by email at sharquint@yahoo.com.
Now, you don't want to, you don't want to join Sharon and her committee for a wonderful event and evening for a great cause. Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks, JoJo.
Our SCTV crew spoke with Rick Barnes, Director of Course Maintenance, about the continuing renovation of the Okatie Golf Course. Let's listen.
This is Bill Nissen reporting from Okatie Creek Renovation, and I'm here with Rick Barnes of Troon Golf, and we have a couple of questions for him today. Well, first off, just if you can give us a general update.
Yeah, we got a little behind last week with the storms that came through. We had a little over 10 plus inches, so it kind of set us back a little bit. But the crews worked through the weekend, and they've worked a little extra each day to kind of catch back up. So,
excellent, thank you. Now, is there any greens or fairways that you deemed are complete, or is everything still in process?
So everything's still in process. They're currently working to kind of fine tune and do a final float or grade on greens. They're working today on number 2 and 3. Their hopes are by the end of next week to finish 1, 9, 18 in the putting green, and then basically the front 9 will be complete. And we're going to go through at that point and kind of give the final approval or okay. And so once that takes place, they'll start grass and greens. Fairways are going to kind of follow that same mode as well. Currently they're working 8 backwards, so the hopes are we can get 3 or 4 fairways and tee complexes complete by middle to late next week, and also start grassing those as well.
Excellent. And as a final question, we've heard the fall of this year might be the end date. Can you give us any updates in that regard?
Yeah, we're still shooting for the first week of October because I know there's some activities that are planned in conjunction with the festival celebration in October. So we're still shooting for that. We've got our fingers crossed that the weather in June, July, August, September cooperates with us in the low country. But we're still shooting for that first week.
Excellent. Well, this is Bill from Okatie Creek and providing an update on the renovation.
The Money Talks Club recently held a presentation on the new real estate commission rules with a panel of local professionals. Reporter Ann Prianti spoke with 2 of them to bring you some of the highlights.
Darren, you got together a panel of experts for the Money Talks Club, and I believe they're going to be talking about the change in commission structure for real estate. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm so excited to have with me today Austin with the South Carolina Association of Realtors, as well as Jean Beck, the president of the Hilton Head Association of Realtors. And we're here to talk about some changes that people have probably heard about in the news regarding realtors, the way that we're paid, the transparency in communications with our clients, as well as some other changes that came from this ruling. So we're excited to share more about that today.
Okay, and Austin, can you tell us about the historical reason why there's a change? I understand there was a lawsuit.
Yes, there was a lawsuit in the state of Missouri, and as a result, there was a settlement with the National Association of Realtors, which implemented some changes nationwide.
So, Darren, can you tell us what it means as far as the changes go for the buyer and for the seller?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say first and foremost for both buyers and sellers, it means you should find a real estate professional that you trust who can act as your advisor. If you're talking with someone who feels unsure about how to explain these changes, that might be a red flag to make sure you're talking to a few other folks. Now, for buyers, as always in the state of South Carolina, we will have you sign a buyer representation agreement or signed agency agreement before we're going to show you houses. The really good news is this new change is nationwide, but South Carolina has always been a buyer representation state, which means that we've always had that agreement signed. So no real changes there. On the seller side, one change that you might have heard people talking about, you hear people say, well, I don't have to pay a buyer's agent now. The truth is, you've never had to pay a buyer's agent. Your compensation with your listing agent is negotiable, and you should talk to that agent about what they charge, and they can consult and advise you on what they recommend offering as incentive for a buyer's agent. But it is always the seller's choice if they want to offer compensation for a buyer's agent or not.
So, Austin, if buyers or sellers need more information, what should they do? Where should they go?
So the two places I recommend would be first, talk to several brokerages in town, talk to your particular broker about what their policies are, and find a brokerage that works for you. But if you have questions in general about the settlement, you can go to fax.realtor, which will have information sheets for both home buyers and home sellers.
Well, Austin and Darren, thank you so much. You both gave us an incredible amount of information in such a short time. And the Money Talks Club is very lucky to have you both and get all this information more in depth. This is Ann Prianti from Sun City TV News.
Still much more ahead on Sun City News. Rich Holman's here with an entertainment report. Chris Chase graduates from the police academy. And JoJo Hines has a sports report. So make sure you come on back.
Okay, so we have tons of stuff that was going on in April for our May edition of In Our Neighborhood.
Right.
And a few of them we're going to share include.
We have the Heritage Oak Place.
Okay.
They had a scavenger hunt.
Ah, interesting. So I would imagine there's a lot of golf carts and
golf carts,
checking out neighborhoods and stuff, right?
And ends up with a meal. So after
Funny.
that, Willowbrook had a Where You Were From party.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
so they, you know what? They had a map. Everybody put down, on the map where they were from. They had icebreakers. Where are you from? Icebreaker, and a meal again. A meal, and the meal was where are you from? Food.
Oh, how cute! That's very clever.
Check that out. And then lastly, we had.
Oh, this is a fun one for sure. Oh, definitely.
A hippie party. All the colors, the sights, the sounds.
Now let's head over to Rich Holman for some entertainment news.
Thanks, Norma. What's coming up in Sun City? Hey, a quick reminder. Tickets go on sale June 4th for events coming up in July. Check the Sun City event calendar for upcoming events and get those tickets early for the shows or events you want to see. On Wednesday, June 4th at 7 p.m., Felix and Fingers Dueling Pianos will be appearing at Pickney Hall. This event will feature 2 dueling pianos, with the dueling pianists competing against each other in an awesome evening of music. You'll be singing along to all your favorite songs while laughing uproariously at the comedy interludes. If you have not seen one of these dueling piano shows, do yourself a favor and check it out. Tickets are $25 and can be purchased online or at Lifestyle Services. Doors and cash bar services open at 6, and again, that show begins at 7. On Tuesday, June 10th, time for some rum and reggae at Pickney Hall. Chill to the island vibe with the Dean St. Hilaire Trio while enjoying a nice beverage. The show starts at 7, doors and cash bar open at 6. Tickets are $18 and can be purchased online or at Lifestyle Services. And if reggae is not your thing, how about some blues? On June 11th at Pickney Hall, enjoy some fine bourbon as you get down with the Mac Arnold Band, laying down some smoking hot blues. Man, this sounds good. Tickets are $18 and can be purchased online or at Lifestyle Services. Doors and cash bar open at 6. Show starts at 7. Opening June 12th and playing through June 15th, Sun City Theater presents the musical comedy Murderers of 1940. Come and step into a 1940s mansion filled with intrigue, laughter, and secret passageways. This hilarious whodunit spoofs Broadway's golden age with zany characters, clever twists, and non-stop laughs. The show plays at 7 p.m. on June 12th, 13th, and 14th, with a matinee on June 15th starting at 2:30. Tickets are $26 and are on sale now. Go to the theater's website, suncitytheater.org, to order. How about a happy hour? On June 16th at Riverbend, come over for a swingin' happy hour featuring live music by Brad Swanson and delicious hors d'oeuvres by Downtown Catering. Bar services will be available to get your week off to a fun start. Tickets are $15 and can be purchased online or at Lifestyle Services. The capacity is 100, so there's a limit of 4 tickets per household. The doors and cash bar open at 3:30. Music starts at 4. How about a little fun in Beaufort? Coming up on June 7th at the Whitehall Boat Landing at 7 Meridian Road in Beaufort, it's time for the 69th Annual Beaufort Water Festival Paddle Battle. Come out and see the races as paddle boaters race to be champs of this year's events. This race will start promptly at 9:30. See the race, then stick around for a fun morning of sightseeing around Beaufort. This event is free, and if you've not had a chance to see this before, it is a lot of fun. That's it for this week. Get up, get out, have some fun. Norma, it's back to you.
Reporter Chris Chase completed her police academy training, and she indicated that these were classes, or as she says, lessons, we all need to know whether you live in Hardeeville or Bluffton. It was an 8-week course led by Joey Ginn, the Father Flanagan of Hardeeville, and downtown Jerry Brown. Chris tells us what they covered in the 8-week sessions.
Now, Joey, this is Joey that I was talking about, the Father Flanagan of Hardeeville. Now, Joey, you're not having another class just like we took, but you are going to have something different.
Yes. We're actually going to, there again, we talked about this during our Citizens Police Academy about educating the public, and we're going to have what are called CRACE classes, C-R-A-S-E, the Civilian Response to Active Shooter Events. And it teaches the public what to do in the event of an active threat, i.e. whether it be a shooter or somebody actively trying to hurt people in a public environment, so they know how to recognize that, be safe, and get themselves back to safety.
That's an excellent thing, especially, unfortunately, in our times now.
It is. Unfortunately, sad we have to teach that, but we want to make sure people know what to do in an event so they can stay safe.
Now, I've been raving about this course because I really did enjoy it. And you're going to do it again, but not right away, is that right?
We had talked about it, but we want to have more time to go back to the educational part. Once again, what we just completed was very educational, we hope.
Oh, yeah.
But we will have that again in the spring, about the same time of the year we started this past year with. But we will definitely do it again next year. I know we've had a lot of response, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, if somebody was interested in one or both of those, who would they contact?
Sure. Obviously, the best thing to do is keep up with our social media pages, and also they can contact me, JGINN at hardeevillesc.gov. They can keep a track on our website, hardeevillesc.gov.
And Sun City TV will make sure we keep everybody.
And we hope so. You always do. And we're glad to have you here.
The Police Academy has been such a wonderful experience. I have to read this because I can't retain all the weeks. But we had 8 weeks. Week 1, we did Getting to Know the Officers, which were Joey Ginn. We call him the Father Flanagan of Hardeeville. And then there's Downtown Jerry Brown, which everybody's got to see him. He's just wonderful. Then week 2, we did Patrol Division, which was officers work 12-hour shifts, and they change every 4 weeks. And then for week 3, we had an officer training division, which they have 17 weeks of training at the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy, and then 12 weeks of field training. The next week, we had a special investigator, which was wonderful because you'll never understand unless you take this class how wonderful they work and the secrecy. All right, and then week 5, it was their equipment, and I have a few pictures of them. They used drones. It was wonderful to watch. And then week 6 was the social resource officer. It was started in Flint, Michigan in 1953. And this resource allows them to give life lessons and build bonds with the children. And then week 7, we met the staff, and John Carroll gave us a history of Hardeeville. Now we're going for graduation.
So I'm proud of them. I thank y'all for participating, and congratulations on your graduation, okay?
Now let's get some sports news from JoJo Hines.
Hello, sports fans. At the Low Country Pickleball Classic, Mike met a group of veterans who are helping other veterans and active duty military get involved with sports. Let's watch.
We are with Gabe George, who is the pickleball director for the Military Adaptive Court Sports. Gabe, tell me a little bit about the organization.
Well, we're a nonprofit organization that's national. We help military veterans and active duty that are injured, ill, or wounded through different adaptive court sports. Through pickleball, as you see, is one of our favorite sports that we love because it's so social and it's an adaptable sport. It's for people that all kind of injuries, all kind of illness. We teach visually impaired clinics, people from wheelchairs to amputations, all that love. But it's about getting vets off the couch and finding other sources of therapy versus to go along with their life to help them better their life.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this as part of being the pickleball director?
I believe I've been with Max about 4 years now. 4 years. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And do you travel around the country for what you're doing? Is this a big travel job for you?
Let's say I have a 2017 Toyota Prius with 430,000 miles on it. I travel from teaching clinics statewide or nationwide all year long.
Well, that's really great. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate your time and your effort and all that you do.
We thank you so much for having us.
We are watching Stephen Harper, the director of the Military Adaptive Court Sports, playing pickleball here at the Low Country Pickleball Classic. Stephen and his organization have been part of this tournament for many years, and you can see he is very, very well versed in playing pickleball.
That was awesome. The spring softball season is now over, and we have the champions. Congratulations to each and every team. Your teamwork and hard work paid off. Now remember, you're never too old to try a new sport, so get out there and give one a try. JoJo Hines for Sun City Sports.
Well, that's our news for this week. Thank you for watching. Catch us on cable and on our YouTube station, where we invite you to click like and subscribe. Now, to see expanded coverage of some of our SCTV stories, tune into our monthly show Extra. For questions and comments, email us at suncitytvhh@gmail.com. But make sure you check in with us next week for all the news that's in your neighborhood. For Sun City News, I'm Norma Taylor.